Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the After the Frame podcast. My name is Malik, and I am joined, as always, by.
Hi, I'm Matt.
And my big question to you, Matt, is when are Judy and Nick going to kiss? Because the sexual tension in this movie was palpable. And I asked a 5-year-old that was in the theater next to me, and he agreed. What do you think?
I mean, I think it should have already happened, but it's going to happen in the inevitable third film.
Yeah, probably so. But what were your thoughts going into this one, and were you a fan of the first one?
I was a big fan of the first one. I was a big fan of the cast and kind of what they were going for with this film. I mean, Disney for a long time, for as many flaws as I can give them, trying to shell out reboot after reboot and respin the same wheel 1,000 times. Zootopia is one of those original, I guess, IPs that they've done that actually delivered. And I was a big fan of the first one. And my expectations were pretty aligned with the second one from the first one. And yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it.
I mean, this one to me, I think is like pretty on par with the second. I mean, with the first one, a little bit below the first one type of thing. Yeah, I enjoyed this one. I have like a few little issues with this sequel. But yeah, I mean, like you said, Disney has been very boring, very bland, just pumping out the same reboot, sequel, live action, whatever. As you said, Zootopia is an area where I feel like they have a little bit of creativity in their company, and the movies are pretty good. The good animation, good casting. It's charming. It's funny. It's not too many things I could complain about on this one.
Yeah, and I mean, diving into what I enjoyed. I mean, I think the first thing is it does kind of recapture the magic of the original. In my opinion, it didn't fully surpass the first one, but the sequel does kind of successfully tap into the same charm and heart of the original. You know, the world that they built still feels alive, clever. It's very thoughtfully constructed. And I mean, the animation and sound design are gorgeous. I mean, visually, the movie just looks fantastic. I mean, you've got a whole cast and crew of animals. But with that, you've got this expressive character animation, detailed environments, and really vibrant color work throughout. And I mean, the sound design and score just elevate the emotional beats and just the comedic timing that these characters utilize.
Yeah, and I feel as though obviously within this, and as you hinted, we'll get into that with the third movie. But within this one, I really enjoyed our two main characters, Judy and Nick. I feel like they take their relationship from the first one and kind of still evolve it while not evolving it too much to leave room for growth for that third movie. As well as all the side characters, the new ones that they introduce, as well as the ones that come back from the first one. Yeah, as you said, the charm is still there. If you enjoyed that first one, I mean, I've talked to some people that really love the first one and they didn't like this one. Yeah, to each their own. Like, I think a lot of people had very high expectations for this, that it was going to be the same, if not better than the first one. But I think the first one just sets too high of a bar, and it was so unique that going back to this world now it'd be very tough to kind of jump over that first one. But as you said, like there's the characterization of from the villains that they introduce in this to the new side character Gary the Snake, played by Ki Hee Kwan, and yeah, the voice acting again. I'm a big fan of Jason Bateman. It's Jennifer Goodwin, I believe, is who plays Judy. I've never seen her or heard her in anything else. However, I think she does a very good job in the two movies. But yeah, the cast that they just a little cameos of people that is so funny. Like I think they had Michael J. Fox as like a fox in the background or something. Like it's like you watch the movie and it's like these little like cameos and things like that for voice acting that I think are just so fun.
Yeah, and I mean, two things that I can really appreciate with this film. It's got really strong humor. I mean, the movie is genuinely funny, and I mean, it has jokes that land across age groups, and the humor just felt organic to the story rather than forcing these jokes on or just being overly referential to the first one. And I mean, the film also had really heartfelt storytelling as well. I mean, at its core, the film tells a warm, emotionally grounded story, and the themes resonate without becoming preachy, but it strikes a balance that Disney especially Disney animation, just sometimes struggles to maintain.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think for me, the main takeaway from this sequel comparatively to the first one that I felt was they, ramp up the humor a little bit, but also the world building that you see within it. You learn a little bit more about like the reptiles. And then in the third one, they tease something right at the end for what's coming next. But in the first one, they, introduce you to the conflict that everybody was having, predator versus prey, a little theme on racism. This one I felt was a little bit more themed onto like, like Native Americans, settlers, people taking like land, forcing people out, stuff like that. Goes again like a lot of Pixar movies where it's like these adult themes in these kids movies, as you said, that makes the movie be able to be palatable to everybody in all four quadrants. So yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the film did a really smart job of utilizing nostalgia. I mean, the film kind of resists the urge to overindulge the audience in callbacks and memes from the original, but there are familiar elements that are used sparingly. I mean, it's just enough to feel connected, but not enough to distract the audience. And I mean, with that, I can appreciate the introduction of these fresh characters, new ideas. These new characters are meaningfully integrated into the story, and this sequel on the topic of world building, it does expand the world instead of retreading old ground that it's already paved, and it does make it feel like a true continuation rather than a cash grab that Disney has tried over these past couple years.
I mean, they got their cash with this one. It's over $1 billion as we record this. So I don't know. It's still in theaters, so we'll see where it finishes on its theatrical run. But yeah, I mean, it just goes to show you that it's if you make a good movie, people will go to see it. I know Netflix says that they're trying to get rid of people going to theaters, but it's still lucrative. Like if you make good stuff, I mean, people will go and see it and it'll make you money. So yeah, I mean, that's the crux of my positives for it. I mean, it has just a lot of the same beats that you can keep on saying from the first one. A lot of the positives from the first, you can just translate over to the second, for me at least. So and at the risk of just being repetitive, those are all the ones like that I wanted to really highlight for the purposes of this.
Yeah, and I mean, pivoting to the negatives, like I didn't have much.
Hmm.
The 2 things I had is 1, and I mean, you can't really stray away from this, but it does kinda live in the shadow of the beloved original. I mean, as you stated, the original set a very high bar, and the sequel can't completely escape comparison, nor will it ever. But I do think that some moments in the film kinda lack the same wow factor that made the first film feel special. And as you stated, the familiar story beats. While the new ideas are welcome, I just felt that certain plot structures just felt recognizable within the Disney animated formula. It didn't break any new ground narratively, but it refined rather than reinventing. But that was all I had, no, backbreaking.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention just in the positives, I enjoyed this twist villain in this one more than the first one as well.
I did too.
But my big negative was kind of the consistency of, I guess, Zootopia as a society, just because it felt a little off to me that everybody in that first one was kind of like learning through the we can be tolerant of predators. And then I kind of felt a little bit in this one. They're like, oh, now we're all, kumbaya, everybody's living together. But no, not a snake. Oh, no, get these reptiles out of here. I felt like there was a lot of that type of stuff where I was like, it kind of undoes a little bit of the progress that it seems Utopia went through in that first one, where people were becoming tolerant, but then Gary pops up in the I forget what it is, whatever the cotillion or the ball or whatever that was, and
Mhm.
everybody's like, "Oh my god!" and like running for their lives, and it's like lions and like things like that. And I'm like, "You're a predator too." So, I don't know, but it's explained in the movie, and it just also, as I said, it ties into the themes. A lot of real world stuff of the victors being the ones that paint the story and tell the story in the way that they view it. And then yeah, you have some of the animals that are victimizing the reptiles and making people think that they did this and so on and so forth, taking credit for things and stuff like that. So as I said, it has all those cool themes with it. But that was one thing for me. The second thing, Gary, feel like as a character, he was kind of one note, and I kind of was expecting a little bit more in the marketing for it. They don't explain a ton of what everything's gonna be, which I kind of liked. I went into it not really knowing what the plot was gonna be from the stuff I've seen. And yeah, he's just a one-dimensional character that could have literally been swapped out for any you could have just had any other reptile voiced by any other person. It didn't need to be him, which I kind of was disappointed in because all he does throughout the movie is just say, "We shall succeed, Judy Hopps." And he says that so many times and I'm like, So he has a narrative purpose, obviously, representing a certain type of reptiles who's driven from their land, and his ancestors had like a big invention and whatnot. But him as a character and him tagging along with our duo, he just wasn't that interesting. I honestly found that annoying gopher or whatever she was more interesting as a character, like a little bit more different, that plays off of Judy and Nick more so than him. He was kind of just there. I'm surprised that they didn't make Aquafina actually voice that gopher. But yeah, those are my like negatives there that I was a little disappointed in that, but not much to nitpick, honestly.
Yeah, no, I think those are totally fair. You want to dive into final takeaways?
Yeah. I don't really have anything in particular to say more than what I've already said. This one to me, as you said, it ramps up the humor. So if you were looking for more humor in the first one, I had a blast in the movie just seeing the different references. They have like references in like just the quick action scenes in the animation where like the hungry, hungry hippos. They have the reference at the end with the shining where he's going through like the snow, stuff like that. I just eat that stuff up. So just going in and just watching and just having a good time in like that. But yeah, it doesn't go all the way up to the first one for me, but definitely still a fun time at the movies, and definitely a step forward for Disney and Disney sequels.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. And while it may not outshine the original, it is a worthy follow up. I mean, it's funny, it's heartfelt, it's beautifully animated, and it's smart about how it handles that nostalgia feel. And it's a sequel that respects its audience and expands its world instead of just coasting on past success.
Yeah. And we can touch on this before we give our ratings. The post-credit scene that sets up the third movie. I saw this movie with my girlfriend, and it's such a funny story because whenever we watch a movie together, just because of the conditioning of the MCU now, she's always like, "Is there a post-credit scene?" And I'm like, it's not every movie doesn't have a post credit scene, whatever. And in this movie, I didn't even bother looking it up or whatever, and we just left the movie theater. And then I don't know, we were on the internet or something, and then she was like, "I fucking knew it. There was a post credit scene." I was like, "Oh, damn it!" And so we had to like see the post credit scene like online, like we had missed it. We went out of the theater beforehand, so just letting people know. I mean, if you haven't already seen it and you're watching this, seeing as how we might like spoil some stuff for you. But yeah, there is a post credit scene. So what did you think of it?
I honestly wasn't like I was just confused. I saw it and I was just kind of like, that's interesting. And then I was like, well, I'm like, I wonder what the significance is, but it just never really clicked to me. So I was just kind of like, I mean, it's probably gonna be addressed in the sequel.
Well, yeah, like the third one's just gonna be birds now.
Yeah,
So I mean, they're gonna have some. It's gonna, as I said, I think it's gonna be a thing where it's like the first one, no predators and everything like that, but now they're fine. Oh, no, predators are fine, but then hold on, now we got these reptiles. I don't know about that.
this
Oh, but
one's gonna
reptiles are
be
fine.
like Death from Above. It's like aliens, but birds.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, all right, everybody's living great in Zootopia, but these birds though, no, we got to get the birds out though. No, we can't. We can't have that. So I have a funny feeling that's exactly what's gonna happen, and I am sure Aquafina will find her way into this one, and
She'll be the main
probably
villain.
she'll be Scuttle. They'll just have Scuttle come from the Little Mermaid. And
Yeah,
but yeah, for me, I guess in these movies, I didn't even notice. It's just like in the first one coming to this. I didn't watching it and just going through the movie, you don't even notice the stuff in the background, I guess. I didn't even notice that there were no reptiles in the first one until they brought it up in this one. And the
yeah,
same thing in the first two movies. I didn't even notice there were no birds. I'm like, "Oh yeah, there are no birds in any of them."
they do a
You don't even
good job of hiding that stuff.
Yeah, you're not even like you're so busy distracted with like everything else going on that you're like, "Oh yeah, like these certain types of animals." I thought that the third movie was going to go more aquatic, but then I was like, I don't know how that would work with the two main characters not being able to swim. So, but yeah, birds. I don't know if it's gonna be. I don't know if you've seen the movie Storks with Andy Samberg.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. Maybe they'll have a crossover. It's a good movie. You should watch it. It's very stupid. It's very stupid, but pretty funny. Key and Peele are also voice actors in it. It's pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, if there's nothing else you got, we can just head straight into the ratings.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, what you got?
So I gave it a 8.5 out of 10.
Ooh, a rare time where I actually have a movie higher than you. I gave it an 82%.
82?
82.
Then 85.
Oh, I thought you said an 8.5.
8.5 out of 10.
I thought you meant like, oh, okay. Never mind. I don't know why I heard it a different way.
I was like, what?
I don't know. I thought you meant like, because I'm doing it in my head like percentage wise. I thought you meant like an 80.5.
Oh,
Like an 80 and yeah, you know what I mean? But yeah,
85. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
8.5. Yeah, it's, when we're recording this, it's late. I can't, with the numbers.
Big,
But
big.
yeah, exactly. I don't have one. Don't listen to any of my takes. But so yeah, I guess not a rare time where I'm above you in a movie. I don't know if we've had one yet this year. We'll go back
There,
and see
yeah, we'll have to
in
look.
we'll go back and see in yeah, in our end of year recap. I think maybe for our bottom 10 is where maybe I'll have things a little higher than you. But yeah, that does it. Yeah, so 82% for me, 85%. It's pretty close. And yeah, just right there, mid 80s. I think is very fair.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we're not gonna get a chance to record this episode, and I doubt we'll be able to talk about it in either one of our top 10 or maybe it's in your bottom 10. Is it a Five Nights at Freddy's 2 in your bottom 10?
Let me look. If I had, so I won't give too much away before we get to bottom 10, but I did kind of like try and branch out and see things that I wouldn't normally see.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. It is not in my top and not in my bottom 10.
So it's like not top 10, not bottom 10. It's kind of just somewhere in the middle of the movies you've watched, or towards the bottom, but not
It is
10.
towards the bottom. I mean, I've seen a lot of slop this year. Like I will put
I'm
it that way.
interested to. I'm sure that like the bottom 10 when you reveal them
I'm gonna
in that
route
episode,
off.
I'm gonna
You're
be like
gonna
I've
be
never
like,
even
what
heard
is
of these
that?
movies.
Yeah.
That's because that's the thing with my bottom 10. It's all movies that I thought I would enjoy, but then I just ended up not enjoying.
See, yeah, like this year, I figured I'd try something different and try and watch movies just to watch them. Like I told you, like I'm averaging like a movie a day. And it's just sometimes just
Yeah.
movies that I can poke fun at and laugh and be like, why did I watch that? Those will be in my bottom 10.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. What did you end up rating Five Nights at Freddy's 2 since it won't be in the bottom 10? I'm curious.
I think you rated it higher than me. So this will be a one where you were more generous than I. I gave it, drum roll please, a 2.1 out of 10.
Blasphemy.
Blasphemy! How?
Chica and Bonnie will be at your house within the hour. No good, my friend. 2? It's not a good
2.1.
movie. Not a good movie. 2.1 out of 5 or out of 10?
2.1 out of 10.
Yeah, I can't rock with that. I can't rock with that, man. The puppeting and the whatever they do with those the animatronics is elite stuff. That stuff is that's undeniable. I don't want to turn this into a Five Nights at Freddy's thing, but I'm just saying I was just curious because I know that when we watched the first one, you also had it a lot lower than mine, so I was curious because I actually enjoyed this one more than the first one, controversially.
Okay, so what's your rating for the sequel?
FNAF 2. Let me go all the way down to number 41 on my list. I have it at a 5.8 out of 10.
That's
A
blasphemy.
58%.
That is blasphemy.
Listen, man, where it like came in really good for me. So it was a lot lower because, mind you, I've never played any of the games. And then I had to go back and learn the lore from the games, and I had to give the movie credit based on the consistency from the games. That's all. So that, and then compounding the fact that it just looks like the animatronics look very good, like it looks real. That always is gonna get points for me. But the acting's not very good. That child actor, she's got to go. Whoever
Yeah,
she is.
so there is not a wide gap. Before we turn this into a whole separate segment, there is not a giant gap for me between the first and the second. The first one I gave a 2.4, 10.
Poof.
So
Man.
like I played the games Well, I haven't played all of them. I played, like, the first 2, and for me, like, if we wanna talk about mainly the second one, like, genuinely, if I had to go on a tangent, like, what the fuck is this franchise? Like, it's somehow this sequel has even more fan service Easter egg slop than its predecessor. I mean, in doses, that's fine and all, but this movie relies so heavily on them that if you're not a pre-existing fan, you're just left puzzled for half the runtime. I mean, I'm happy for fans of this franchise. I hope this is exactly what some people want, but my lord, this a pile of ass otherwise. I mean, I won't spoil it, but there was some heavily misleading marketing with this movie that feels kind of gross now in hindsight.
Well, we'll talk about it off camera. I mean, the people in my theater, the kids were in face paint like the marionette. Everybody was wearing their stuff.
I mean,
You
if you're a
can't
fan of it,
deny.
I get it. If
Yeah,
you're a
the people
fan,
just
but
go to watch it. They're like, I just like seeing my fandom on the screen. That's it. And I cannot deny that the people were happy in my theater. So
that's going to be the MCU if these people aren't careful.
well, I mean, Five Nights at Freddy's has a lot of games, and if it
Uh,
keeps on making the money it makes, then c'est la vie. But let's end it there. We'll put a nice little tag on our Instagram post and within the description that you all, as a Christmas present, get our thoughts on Five Nights at Freddy's 2 in the Zootopia 2 review. So yeah, I bet you guys didn't think about that, and it was completely not planned. But we talk about movies on this podcast, so be it. But before Matt starts steaming from his ears thinking about Five Nights at Freddy's 2, let's sign off and yeah, I think this is our last one of the year. We will be having a recap for 2025 early next year, some point in January. Just look out in probably the first few weeks after we've gotten back from our vacations and whatnot, when we have a second to record. So just look out on our Instagram. We'll let you all know when that's coming out, and then we look forward to diving into all of the many movies that we have coming out in 2026. We'll probably even discuss in that episode the stuff that we're looking most forward to next year, and can talk a little bit about those. But yeah, we appreciate you guys listening all of this year and listening to this episodes.
yeah, ditto for me. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, well, everybody have happy holidays and a wonderful new year, and we will see you all in 2026.
Take care, everybody.
Bye bye.